Whenever I tell myself that I'm not good enough, my deity, Kali, will tell me, alright, then go kill yourself because when you're dead, you'll be perfect. And she is honestly so fucking right. Because fundamentally, there are two things in life that are perfect. The first being death and the second being God. The two things that are perfect is either all existence or non-existence, either zero or infinity, because those are objective and complete. As a existing being, as a separate consciousness in the world, you will always be imperfect because you will always have something to compare yourself to, and in that relative comparison, you can always find yourself lacking. I can take this bottle and then make up a mental story about how I'm not hard enough and the bottle is way harder than me, and now I'm like sad and bummed out that I'm not hard enough, okay? Or I can compare myself to a sheepskin and say the sheepskin is way softer than me, okay? I'm not soft enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not perfect, and then I can be bummed out about that. You can literally compare yourself to everything in life, and you can literally always feel negative about yourself and feel shitty about yourself if you just compare yourself enough. Fundamentally, as a being separate from God and existing in the material world of contrast and duality, you will always be imperfect. You can literally never, never, never reach perfection. You can never reach a state of perfection. You can reach a state of completion. You can reach a state where you feel good about yourself, and that it isn't to say that there isn't a point to growing, but fundamentally you can never be perfect. So get perfectionism out of your head and realize that once you accept yourself, growth becomes easier. When you constantly bum yourself out and say you're not good enough or you're not disciplined enough, then you are operating from the space of lack, okay? When you operate from lack, then it is simply a lower energy. It is a very poor motivation and it is unsustainable fundamentally. And if you fully accept yourself, you will still want to grow. It's not like a flower grows because it's afraid that it isn't good enough. A flower grows because it fucking wants to grow. I make music not because I feel bad about myself and I think making music will, I don't know, make me good enough, or I think I will finally love myself if I make enough music. I make music because I want to, because I think it's funny. A flower grows simply because it wants to, not because it has something to prove, not because it feels a lack and wants to grow out of the lack. It desires from desire itself. You become an expression instead of a craving. Most people do what they do because they crave something. They feel internally incomplete and they think that if they get this job or they make this amount of money or they get this car and these clothes, then finally they can feel good about themselves. Or if they get that person, or if they have enough sex or enough nice food, that they will feel happy. Most people operate from a space of lack. They feel incomplete and therefore they crave life. They have attachment to life. And they are afraid that if they did feel good about themselves, if they did find peace, that they would stop being motivated. Which in many cases is true, because once you find fulfillment, you will no longer be motivated by illusion, but you will still have a true motivation. I no longer feel motivated to work out as much as I used to, because that motivation was untrue for me. Instead, what I have now is I'm motivated to do tons of yoga. And actually, I'm way fitter than I was before. I no longer feel a motivation to be disciplined or work hard on music, because that motivation was false for me. But instead, I just have like a inherent joy in making music. I spend way less time making music. I'm actually like less productive. I work less hard. But ironically, I just make way better music. And in the little time I do spend on music, I achieve way, way more. when you operate out of fulfillment, then you will still be motivated and you will have true motivation and you will go towards things that genuinely mean something to you. And I gotta find my fucking train of thought again. Perfectionism. My point is, you will literally never be perfect, and if you operate from the idea that you lack something, and that by working hard, or by being disciplined, or by seeking externally, you will feel validated and fulfilled, then you will literally keep chasing forever because you can always find something else to compare yourself to, and you can always make yourself feel not good enough. You can always feel lack. You can always feel imperfect, and you can always judge yourself for not being enough. There is literally no end to perfectionism. The day you die is the day that you become perfect. The day that you are in the grave is the way, or the day that you are in the grave is the day that you will stop trying to be perfect. Or you can sit down right now, accept yourself fully, realize that the beauty of life is that it is imperfect and we have flaws, and then from that space of fulfillment, from that space of completion, you still grow, you still have fun, but now you do it because you actually want to have fucking fun. Most people live life out of fear, they live life out of lack. When you realize either just like peace, or if you realize God, then naturally you will be fulfilled and life will be a game to you. And you will just want to do things out of the love of your heart and because you want to have fun. And the ego thinks that's unreasonable. The ego thinks that there has to be hard work or there has to be discipline. And the ego will make a virtue out of being disciplined, out of working hard, because it craves validation. I'm genuinely a lazy sack of shit. I have zero discipline. I have zero work ethic. I just do what I wanna. But guess what? Life works out and I have fucking fun and I make tons of music. Way more than I did before. And it's not like it's impossible for you to design your life around love. People fear that they can't live a life they love. People fear that they need discipline, that they need work ethic, that they just have to suck it up. People actually fear being authentic because they think that if they were authentic, if they were relaxed, that then they would be worthless, that they wouldn't, want to do anything. People think that if you let yourself feel good about yourself, then you'll just like lean back and be a sloth, okay? And we have work culture so drilled into our collective unconscious that we just have an internal resistance to the idea that life could be easy. My life is fucking easy. I make music, I make videos, and somehow I just get enough money from streams that I can pay my bills, okay? And I just keep growing. I've literally never cared this little. I've never been so lazy. I've never tried this, like, not much in life. I've never been this undisciplined, and I've never had this little work ethic, and yet things are working out by the grace of God. The ego fears that life has to be hard, and it finds personal validation in that hardship. You think the more you work, the more you suffer, the more you are worth. You want to suffer to prove yourself. You want your life to be hard to prove yourself. Even in religion, we think that finding God has to be a struggle. That if you pray enough, if you say the mantra enough times, if you do enough yoga, or if you're a Christian, that if you pray enough and if you follow the 10 commandments for your entire life, then you will find God and go to heaven. The truth is that finding God is fucking easy. Finding God is so easy that it can't be comprehended. If you sit down for long enough and meditate and become relaxed enough, then you will find God. I found God when I did Shanti Kriya. And Shanti Kriya is a peace mantra, okay? I was literally just sitting down and being the most relaxed I've ever been. And then I saw Kali. I saw a pitch black woman with red outlines on her eyes. And that's how I met God. Literally by being relaxed and not trying at all. And I wasn't even trying to find God. I stumbled upon her, more or less. My point is, you will never be perfect, and there is no point in trying to be perfect. And once you complete yourself, once you allow yourself to feel whole and fulfilled from within, then that won't kill your motivation. And in fact, it will make your motivation more genuine and it will make you more productive. And you will operate and act out of abundance, not out of lack and fear. And life will become incredibly easy because you will earn God's grace by being relaxed and by being authentic to yourself. And the reason that people fear this state and the reason that people will judge people who have life easy is because the ego finds validation in suffering. It finds validation in hard work. It wants to say, me, me, me. Look how hard I work. Look how much I'm doing. When you realize a part or a stage in life where you can say, I'm not doing shit, okay, I'm just having fun and relaxing, and somehow it all works out, then it will all work out. I don't take credit for anything. I realize that even my body is a gift from God. Even all the energy I use to do work is energy that I'm given by the sun that I am offered by God. I don't do anything, quite literally. When I make music, it's because I'm inspired by God. All the energy that goes into my music is the energy that I'm offered from nature, from food, from God as a gift. There is no me doing the work, and there is no work I can claim. The ego wants to claim achievement, accomplishment from its work, and therefore it finds validation in suffering and struggle. So, literally, just relax, follow your heart, and let life be easy. Bless you.